Every child needs to have a bag. Any more? Any grown-up child that would like a bag? What about these girls? Come on over. I need you to take a bag. Mrs. Brackett fixed these all up. And if you don't mind sitting with the little kids here, that'd be nice. Any grown-up want a bag? All right. Yes? Oh, all right. Here you go. And there's another one coming. Give it to your brother when he comes. And Josiah is too old for a bag. I'm sorry, Josiah. Now, what I want you children to do is, without looking, I want you to feel into the bag. There's a bunch of plastic in there, but there's also a quarter in there. I want you to find that quarter. And put it in your hand and take it out. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't look at the coin. Just put it in your hand. No, don't open it. Don't open it. Did everybody find their quarter? Okay. Put the bags down now because they're noisy, just at your feet. Did you find your quarter? Don't look at it. Just keep it in your hand. That's right. You can't find your quarter. Mrs. Brackett told me to bring quarters in my pocket in case somebody didn't have one. Anybody got a quarter here I could borrow? When she was putting these together, she said, in case I miss a bag with a quarter. Thank you, Nancy. All right. Now open your hand and don't look at it. Just close it like that. Okay, you can open your eyes, but just keep your hand closed. Now, let me show you a picture on the screen. Is the screen ready, gentlemen? Maybe we should turn these lights off so they can see the screen. Good. And, all right. We need a little light where the children are, maybe. So what I want you to do is hold your hand up like this without looking at the quarter yet. You're supposed to close it. Okay. When you open your hand in a minute, don't do it yet, you're going to see in your hand either the side of the quarter that looks like George Washington, or you're going to see the side of the quarter that has a group of people rowing a boat. Now, you probably know this, but when it looks like that, we call it heads. And if it looks like the little boat with people, we call it tails. But in case you didn't know that before, hold your hand out like this so the coin is not going to fall when you open your hand. Are y'all with me on that? I want you to open your hand. Be careful the coin doesn't fall. Don't look at other people's coin. Just look at yours. I want you to, with your other hand, hold it out flat, sweetheart, like that. I want you to look to see which picture is on there. Do we need some more light for them to see that? I'm not sure. Okay. So I want you to raise your other hand. What happened to your quarter, dear? It's gone, huh? Okay, all right. If you see George Washington's face on that coin, I want you to raise your other hand up in the air. Hold it up, please. Keep this flat instead of tipping. You should, that's good, okay. Let's count these hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, put those down. Now, if your hand shows the little boat with people paddling, or perhaps King George, if that's who it is, would you raise your other hand, please? Raise your hand if you see raise it high. Raise it up high. That's you. Hold it up there. Let me see yours. Yeah, hold it up there. Let me see yours. Okay. Keep it up. I want to see everybody's hand. Let me look. I need more light too. Yes. You need to raise that hand up. Let me see yours, sweetheart. Okay. All right. Is your hand up too? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many had heads? How many had tails? I think it was 6 that had tails. You can put your hands down. That quarter belongs to you, thanks to Mrs. Brackett. You can do anything you want as long as your parents approve. You could even put it in the offering if you wanted. The reason I had you do this is going to become more apparent. Now, some of you are so young, when I'm explaining this to you later on, you'll have a hard time. But a lot of you are old enough to understand that there are people out there that think the world came to exist by chance. When you opened your hand, would you agree that it was by chance it could have been heads or tails? Yeah. Is that fair enough? Yeah. And if you think about this, if you put that coin in your hand and you weren't even looking, by chance it could be heads or tails. Is that right? And since there are just two choices, some of you kids are old enough, if you're around 9 or 10, to understand that it's one chance out of two that it would be heads. Is that right? And actually, those of you that have started learning about fractions, if you divide the 2 into the 1, you actually get something we call 0.5. Right? Some of you older children know about that. Or you could say 50%. There's a 50% chance that it was heads or tails. Do you think if we came to church often enough and did this every week, do you think one day everybody would have heads at the same time? No, the chance of that is 1 in about 30,000. So if we came here 30,000 Sabbaths and passed out quarters, you'd be rich, I think. But out of 30,000 times, one of those times, it's quite likely that everybody would have heads. Now, where I'm going with all this, parents, as well as these children, is this world did not come by chance. And we're going to study that together. And parents, again, if you can sit near the front with your children, especially if they're around the 5th grade or so or more, somebody tell me here, when do children start learning fractions? Is it 5th grade or 4th grade? Even 3rd grade maybe? So if your children are old enough for that and you could sit with them near the front, I really want to talk to the children. I want to speak to all of us. But I'll just tell you quickly where I'm going, and then the children will leave. There was a time in this church, just before we came 16 years ago, when there were 20, 30 young people in this church. Most of them have left the church. The average in Adventism is 70% of our kids. Whether they go to Walla Walla or any other college, they end up leaving, not only leaving the church, they end up not believing in God. And I want to address that a little bit today, as well as after the meal. I'm going to look at the issues with evolution and creation with you. I'm going to try to put it at a level where it will make sense, at least down to the 4th graders. So here's what I want you to do now. Listen carefully to my instruction. Put the quarter in your pocket. I want each of you children, from here over, you're going to put a bag at the end of every row. And from maybe you should join that group. Did I say it would be you too? And from here over, you're going to take your bag and put it at the end of the row. Not the same row as everybody else, right? So take your bags now and set them down on the floor. No, set them in the pew, right at the very end of the pew. Same over here.
Are we going to get them back?
You're not going to get the bag back, but you get to keep the quarter.